Some of us didn't grow up with the language for pain. We grew up with rules like be tough, don't cry, handle it yourself, don't bring shame, and don't talk about what's really happening on the inside. That's on ourselves and in our homes. And the crazy part is it doesn't matter where you come from. If it's a tight knit culture, a religious home, a rough neighborhood, or a family that avoided emotions, the message was the same. Silence is strength, feeling our weakness, and asking for help isn't an option. Today, we're breaking all of that because silence doesn't save lives. Honest conversations do. Welcome back to the Clean Life Cast, where healing becomes a movement. I'm your host, Mason Anderson, and this is my brother and co-host, Daniel Tapasula. Today, we're talking about something deep, something that a lot of us grow up with inside of us without ever questioning. The unspoken rules about hiding pain, staying quiet, being strong, and pretending you're fine even when you're breaking inside. Daniel grew up in a strong cultural background where showing emotion wasn't allowed. But for me, it wasn't about culture. I didn't understand what that even meant. But the message was still the same. Don't feel, don't cry, don't talk, and just survive. Different backgrounds, same silence. In this episode, we're breaking generational expectations, breaking old definitions of strength, and breaking the idea that you have to carry everything alone. So let's get into it. Well, I'm super grateful we're back, brother.
I am too.
This is going to be a powerful episode.
It feels like it.
I'm excited.
It feels like it's like all substance. Like every line in there was like, it felt like it was basically telling my story.
I'm excited to ask you about it, bro. So
Yeah.
let's get right into it. Growing up, where were the unspoken rules around showing emotion, asking for help, or admitting that you're struggling?
There was no rules. Like there was no spoken rule of don't talk about your emotions. It was just there.
Implied.
Yeah, it was just implied. Like how are you supposed to express how you're feeling if you never asked, right? Like I never got taught about emotions. All I knew was don't bring that here. Do your job, leave me alone, like.
And was that like something that you feel like was in your culture or in your home or?
Well, in my home first, right? In my home, it was like that. Like you just do your job. My job as a kid was go to school, right? Do good in school. That's all my job was. And then when you come home from school, your job is do your chores. Me, I got a brother 2 years older and 1 year younger. And then I got 3 siblings 6 years later. But when we were growing up, it was just go to school, come home, do your chores, and that's it. There was no, how was your day? There was, so even though there wasn't a spoken rule of don't share your emotions, it definitely was implied. Like I was never taught how to express my emotions. So that's why I feel like it was just something that wasn't allowed.
So like what would it be like if you were to show feelings or emotions in your household?
Okay. Like that one, like most of the, okay, when I was young, we used to get beat up a lot. When I was young, we used to get beat up a lot, right? And the emotion was crying. And it was like a mind something. How do you say that? A mind F.
Yeah.
What is the other word for that? Right? Like it was like messing with my mind, right? Like because you get hit with the belt, and the first command is don't cry. Like,
so you get hit with the belt for crying or for other?
At first, it's for being in trouble.
Okay.
Like you didn't do your chore, you got bad grades, something happened. You get hit with the belt. I get hit with the belt. Start crying. Don't cry. Right?
Right.
Don't cry, which is like how it hurts. Right? Like I remember like having welts on our arms and having to miss school because of that, because of it, and how are you not supposed to cry when something hurts you so bad, right? And then like that was like the main time I heard my pops ever say I love you was beating me and my brothers up, was I do this because I love you. And it gave me the mindset of like I don't like love. Like I don't, well, at least not yours.
Like love is painful.
Yeah, love is too painful and I don't want it, and then okay, so first it started in the house and then I started hanging out with the homies, find out not all of them, but some, like a bunch of them went through the same thing.
They were going through the same thing in their homes.
Yeah, and they're same culture as me, same Samoans, some Tongans, like Polynesian cultures, Polynesian culture. so I found out that like a lot of the polys go through the same upbringing, tough love. Everything you said in the beginning, like man up, like you don't show your hurt. You don't show anybody you can't do anything. Um, and even if you got people that will help you, you never ever ask for help. You don't ever want to show that you're not capable. Um, but all of that it's just a system set up to fail, at least on the emotional and on the mental, right? Like how are you ever going to be able to ask for help if you're never taught or you're expected not to ask for it?
Right, for sure.
S-
And so I have a question. So what does it do to somebody who grows up not allowed to express their feelings or emotions? Like what kind of things did it bring up for you in your life?
I don't even know. Like I said again, I don't know.
So like let's see. Because you weren't allowed to express those emotions, what kind of things did you grow up with mentally or emotionally that were blockages for your life? What kind of things
Probably
did
like unworthy, broken, because it felt like something I was doing was wrong. Like when you hear other people, when you see other people in church or you hear other kids talk about their house, like they sing or they laugh at the kitchen table, and yet we don't do that, and it makes it like it brings up. And I processed through all this when I went through treatment. It made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Like it was, and I don't know, maybe I don't know if my two brothers ever thought that, but I definitely thought that. Like I try to do everything my parents asked me to do. And I try to do it the best, but then still getting beat up and still not ever getting told I love you just because I love you. It made me feel like I can't do anything right. And so that messed with my head for a long time. Like how are you ever supposed to overcome some things when you feel like like nothing you can do is right?
right?
Like I'm broken, right? Like I can't ever finish anything. I can't ever, whatever I'm gonna do, it's gonna mess up down the line. The other shoe's gonna drop at some point, because that's basically my whole upbringing has been like that.
Yeah.
Like it's always been something's wrong with me,
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy. That's deep. And I think like for myself, like I think of like nobody directly was like influencing this, but it was just something that I picked up over the years. But like the don't cry or man up or
Yeah,
um like I remember getting told all the time that my reputation matters more than a lot of things.
yeah,
And and so as I started growing and I started messing up and I started being the person that was continuously going through struggles, at some point I realized like I can't live up to this expectation and I can't ask for help. And so
yeah,
I just decided that I was going to lean into being the problem child because it was
yeah,
like, I really believed that like I've already messed up too much, you know?
yeah. And there's no way for you to be anything else, right?
Right. And that's just who I was, I thought. And I think that like the damage from that was like that I grew up in this mindset that like I needed to be perfect or that like
Mm.
I couldn't, if I messed up at first, it was like I mess up and I would try to hide it. So it would cause lying. It would cause
Yeah,
me to not feel like I'm being my true form or my true self. I didn't want to tell people when I was hurt or if something was affecting me.
yeah,
And like I grew up in a home where like, I was loved. I had a lot of love,
yeah,
but there was a lot of, like, damage and a lot of, like, toxicity that was going on in my home, so it caused a lot of, like, not sure when the right moment would be to, like, reach out for anything.
yeah,
So, I knew that I was always loved, and that was helpful for me, but it was people at the time that wasn't able to love me in the ways that I needed, you
yeah.
know?
So you know how, yeah, I get that. But you know how you said you didn't know when the right time to reach out was. You didn't know when the right time to reach out was. Were you ever told that you could reach out, or did anybody ever say if you need help with something, come ask?
So that's like a little it's I'm in a different it's a little different because like I grew up in a massive family, like
Yeah.
truly massive. Like I have my great grandma had 102, I think 102 grandkids.
Wow.
So like my family's really huge and
Yeah.
I've always had family support. Like
Yeah.
I've always had my grandparents and my mom and my family was massively there. My aunts were there for me constantly, my brothers and sisters. So
Yeah.
so it's like they did tell me that I could reach out, but it was almost implied that like that
Yeah.
that you need to man up, stand up on your own 2 feet, be strong, you know?
Yeah.
And which is important. I think there's like a border, there's a fine line where like it's important to be pushed to do your very best, but there's another side of it that if people are emotionally unavailable or mentally unavailable because of their own struggles, really with my life, what it comes down to is that the people that I was looking for help from were also going through their own life struggles, and they were just barely learning themselves.
Yeah.
Like my mom had me at a really young age. She was 16 years old when she had me, and she was growing. You know, we kind of grew up together. And so over time, I think that like where she was going through like abusive relationships and her struggles with whatever her path was, it made it to where she was not emotionally or mentally available for the things that I was needing at the time.
Yeah.
Not out of like she didn't want to be, because I know
She
that she
just
loved me.
wasn't.
She
Yeah.
just wasn't there at that time. And it's okay, because like we all go through that struggle and it's hard for everybody. And it's a learning experience for both of us. Like we talk now about it, and my mom's in a whole different
Yeah.
space. You know what I mean? We're in a different world now where like we both understand that that was a hard time we had to grow through, and we did grow through it, and it made us both stronger, and we both have scars from it, but
Yeah.
we both made it, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like the not being able to beat her is because they didn't understand how to do it at that time, right? Like the unavailable emotionally part, or yeah, I feel like never got the chance, or if had the chance, never took the opportunity to learn how to be a better person. I feel like that plays a lot into all of this. You know, like I feel like my upbringing, my parents did the best that they knew how.
Right.
Like I had a lot of resentments up until a couple of years ago, you know. Um, but then I started to understand that they were doing the best that they could, right? And in my head as a parent, the reason why I had a lot of resentments is because I couldn't see that happening, me doing that to my kids, you know, until I got through treatment and understood that they just never knew how to do it any other way than the way they did it, right? And I got the opportunity to learn how to do it. Like I used to tell people that I never got anything from my dad, but then I had to take that statement back because like I start when I first had my son Daniel, I wanted to make sure that everything I didn't get he got, right? I told him I loved him all the time. Not because he was in trouble or because I was beating him up. And as a matter of fact, I never really spanked my kids. You know, I spanked them, but I didn't beat them. Um, I tell my son and my daughter all the time that I love them. I ask them all the time how their day was. So whatever I didn't get, that was how I broke the cycle, right? I took what I didn't like about my dad, made sure my kids never had to experience that,
Right.
you know, and
That's
and
awesome. I think
yeah,
something that keeps on like floating up in my mind right now is like that when I look back on it, it's like more so than other people telling me that I can't open up, or that like I need to do these things, with myself telling me
yeah,
like I need to be stronger. I need to be
yep,
more of a man. I can't cry. Those things. I remember like like I probably had the opportunity to ask for help a lot throughout my life.
yeah,
And I had a lot of resentments towards like my coaches or my teachers or towards family members and things like that, where it was like knowing if somebody would have just stepped in, maybe my life would have took a different direction.
yeah,
But it's like I didn't have the vocabulary or the mental capacity to actually ask for help in those
yeah,
moments. I didn't know what that even looked like. I didn't even know I needed help. Honestly, I remember
yeah,
clear up until I was 25 years old, I thought, "Fuck, I got this handled," you
yeah,
know? Like, and I don't need anybody's insight, because I thought everybody was wrong and I was always right. And I
yeah,
thought like that they would tell me things that I thought was like, "Oh, you're just back on that Bible thing or back
yeah,
on that," you know, and trying to just like trying to force me into a direction that wasn't me. And I felt this so strongly. And now it's all come full circle. And I realized that they were giving me insights that I just wasn't willing to accept. And
yeah,
so then it caused me to really close down and think, I'm gonna have to do this all alone.
yeah,
And then that's pulled. I'm 35 years old now, and I still feel a lot of times like I gotta do this on my own, you know?
yeah,
And so it's like caused me to really have to like take a look at myself and see what it is that I can start changing within myself to be more open.
yeah. And it's all right to be able to do things by yourself, but then when it feels like overwhelming, you should reach out, right? Like, and I like the part where you said about it's ourselves that put up these barriers, you know, like even though it wasn't implied, I took it and made it like that's the law. So all these things were definitely made up in my head, you know, and I took it and ran with it. And the evidence I got from it was it's not being said, so this must be something we don't talk about. And then you hear it from your friends, and they go through this, they say the same thing, and it's like, okay, it's true, you know. But it's all definitely like self-made box, you know. And at some point, you got to realize that that's not the way to do it. You know, like a lot of punishment and a lot of harm was self-inflicted for
Well,
sure.
and now I think about it, like almost all of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
all of it.
Like if you can definitely say that there was tons of situations and trauma and toxic situations that being a child I shouldn't have lived through or seen happen or been in. But in reality, like I could have taken that situation, like the hero and villain situation. I
Yeah,
could have put my own perspective on it. I just didn't understand or have the tools to do so.
same. Like never had the tools, never been taught, never was interested in trying to find a better way. Just played victim for sure. Played victim to the whole upbringing my whole life. I was like, whoa, if my dad told me I love you and genuinely meant it, I would have turned out different. Well, I could have been curious. I also didn't know. Same like you. I didn't know I needed help. I thought everybody was raised that way. I thought everybody went through the same thing. And I know better now, better late than never. But like that's just something, how you say healing is a movement. I feel like this is our opportunity to, like, for me as a dad, like, this is definitely something I want to make sure other people don't have to go through without, without the understanding of what genuine love is, what somebody that's willing to help you out without expecting anything in return, what a true friend is, what service looks like, just what a better human being can be like, understanding that it's okay to ask questions, it's okay to ask for help, there's no shame. All the shame that was in my head about man up and do it yourself, don't ask for help, was me. Nobody told me, hey, it's so shame, you don't know, you don't know how to do this on your own. Like nobody told me it was shameful. It was just me with all this evidence that I looked for and found, and put it together, that it's shameful to ask for help, it's shameful to cry. Oh, yeah, it's shameful to cry. And like, there's a lot of things that's made up in my own head that I just ran with.
You know what's crazy, bro? Is like during this, like when I wrote the notes and did all the things, like I had a whole different idea of where we were gonna go with this topic.
Yeah.
And then in real time, like there was real liberation and understanding,
Yeah.
like we come to an understanding that it's not so much about the situations or the trauma, like that's probably what started it.
Yeah.
But then this for 35 years, it's been me. And
Yeah.
it's been me doing this damage to myself.
50, it's been me.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, 50, it's been me. Yeah, we're healing. Like, that's what I love about this podcast. It's me and you talking. If people find something that benefits them, it's your fault. Right? You're looking for something to help you. Good job. It's your fault. And this is where healing does become a movement. And in real time, like there's been other episodes where in real time, when we're talking, I'm like, poof. I was like, holy crap, that's dope. Like, but I do believe that, like, and I didn't realize when I asked you, because the thing I wanted to talk about was culture, and there is cultural things, but I feel like we take that, make it our core values. I remember, so the thing about core values, we're doing a psych ed. Dee was doing a psych ed. I was sitting in on it at work, and she goes, uh, "Do you believe that you're living your true core values in your addiction?" And I was just in there to listen, but it got to me, and I just said no, and then went to next, and then she was going to go next, but she looked back at me, and I had like this, you know, question on my face, I guess. She goes, hold up, what? And she pointed back at me, and I was like, okay, is it fair to say that in my addiction, I was living my true core values because I wasn't taught what my core values was, and I started at a young age. So in my addiction, I was living my true core values until I learned what core values I wanted to get.
Right.
And she said that was fair to say because like if you never taught that being honest was a good guy, why would you do that?
Right.
Right? So lying, there's a whole bunch of gains in lying. When in my addiction, like lie to get this, steal to get that, so that definitely was my core values because I didn't know any other value to have.
Right.
Like I understand love and tell the truth, but what is truth gonna do for somebody like me?
Right.
But get me locked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I tell the truth, all of a sudden I'm a snitch,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
what do I need? Like, there's no use for truth. There's
That's
no use
cultural
for,
too. Like
yeah,
that part of it.
yeah,
Like where it's like you get boxed in ways that I mean you can't control. Like
yeah,
like if in prison if you were to tell, like you might
yeah,
and lose your life on. No, but like I think that like that, those type of things are that's pressure or community pressure, or
Yeah.
when you live in the drug game, like it's a whole different world where you have to act a certain way or be a certain way. I noticed that when I was in prison, honestly, is like when people that have like 5 years or more in there,
Yeah.
they're a different type of person. You know what I mean? Like doesn't matter who they were when they went in, as soon as they're there for they get that sentence, a
Yeah.
5 year sentence, their mindset shifts and they change into this different person that's like has to survive there.
Yeah.
And once you have to lock in for that amount of time and live in that environment for that long,
Yeah.
it's like you have to be a different person or you're not gonna make it.
It becomes survival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that in the drug. Well, it is like that in the drug world.
Yeah. It's all about survival, right? If you don't get your drug of choice, how are you going to survive the day?
Right. And you
So,
have to interact with people that are trying to scheme and people that are
yeah.
trying to make money and people that are trying to hurt you or
Yeah.
take from you. And so it's like of course you're gonna have all these guards up
Yeah.
and you're gonna become this person that doesn't want to feel and doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people in their addiction say when they look in the mirror, they don't recognize the person looking back. It's because when they started, it was just for fun. Maybe it was just to kill some feelings of been through some trauma, and then at some point, all of a sudden doing things like, okay, I might smoke meth, but at least I don't shoot it up. And then you start shooting up. Well, at least I'm not on heroin, like just justifying all these little steps. And then by the time a little bit of time go by, you stop and you're doing everything you said you'd never do.
Right. And that's
And
so true.
yeah, and I don't know.
I mean, going back to that core values thing, like something I want I, I want to talk about because so like how Todd always says like if you're living in your addiction, like you're out, you're pretending to be somebody you're not.
Yeah.
Because in reality, we do know that like, and all of us know as humans, like naturally the like love is important, the
Yeah.
honesty is important, the being supported and comforted is important. Like we know those things like intuitively. And so in order to be living in that world of addiction or living in that world in the prison or living in those hostile environments, it's like we have to become somebody that we know we're not.
Yeah.
We have to become these people that aren't aligned with what our heart wants. And I think that's what causes the damage to our souls and to our mentality and to other things, is because now we're living this life that's not actually what we know is right inside of us, like
Yeah.
our God-given ability to discern. And so I think that maybe like that, I don't know if this will align, but like that saying that says like, if you don't know where you're going, any path will get you there.
Yeah.
And I think that like what you're talking about in the beginning, before you understood what core values were or had what ones you weren't conscious of them, but you still had like internal dialogues that knew what it was that you were supposed to be
Okay.
doing. And so I think that maybe like once that was one of the biggest liberations for me in my recovery, was learning what core values were. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it changed my whole life, because then all of a sudden now my core values are strong because I think about them every day. I write them on my mirror. I know
Yeah.
what it is I want. And I think that comes in every form, like relationships, business, friendships,
Yeah.
recovery, all the things. Is if we don't know what we're trying to accomplish or we don't know where we're trying to go, then we're going to end up somewhere, but it's probably not going to be where we want to be.
Yeah.
And so I think that once we start to like narrow down what it is we're looking for
Yeah.
and really be like, you know what, this is the type of life that I want, then all of a sudden it closes all these other paths and gives you like a few to choose from.
Yeah.
And then once we can get to the next route, the next path, the next
Yeah.
path, the next path, and if we continuously make the next right decision, then all of a sudden we end up in a life that we're proud of.
Yeah. And I believe that, right? Like the core values was hard for me. But same thing, it freed me up as soon as I was able to figure them out. You said something that reminded me of our last episode. Remember when I said the easiest part was to stop drinking and stop using? It just made me you just reminded me like that was the hardest part, was uncovering the core values, uncovering your true self. That was where all the real work happened. And it was hard. Like those parts was hard, but a lot of freedom and understanding. It was a lot of work, but it felt free. I don't know how to put the words together, but I know what I'm feeling right now. Like it 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 just did a bunch, like finding out what my core values was. Um, there was a lot of questions though, on core values, like, am I that? Like, do I really want that? Like, and then understanding what they were, I feel like now that I know who I am, I feel like that was the part that freed me up the most, was finding core values, understanding that I am a good guy, that I do have love, I'm worthy of love, all these things. That definitely helped me understand who I was, who I am, and definitely helped me have confidence in picking whatever direction I want to go.
Right. And do you know what's really crazy about that is like the like consciously, like, if we're not thinking about it, obviously we're gonna end up wherever. But then, so say we start thinking about it, and
Yeah,
we say, okay, my core value is honesty, but I've been a liar for the last 20 years.
yeah,
So then it's like all of a sudden that disconnects between like what we think we want and what we feel inside is like painful.
yeah,
And so I think that's where like the healing is like learning to first of all become conscious and aware of yourself, get self-awareness and some emotional intelligence, and like really start like thinking like, okay, what is it that I want to be about, and who is it that I feel
yeah,
like I truly am underneath the pain.
yeah,
And then so you have to dig underneath the pain, and that disconnect might be really far if you're just new in recovery or you haven't been working on it for a long time. And that's where we started.
yeah,
Was like when we first got there, those things didn't feel like real, they didn't
yeah,
feel like they aligned with who I was. But over time of doing it consistently, like I was still like I just told you before the podcast, like last night I went through a healing journey where
yeah,
I really dug deep, dude. I really dug deep. I'm starting to bawl my eyes out in here by myself, and like just really understood some things about my childhood and about what it is that I'm actually searching for
yeah,
in business or in money and in life. Like I really got to the core of what that was. And because I did that, it hurts today. I'm sore in my chest. I
yeah,
feel it, but there's like a relieving feeling underneath it that I know that I'm heading in the direction of healing and growth.
yeah,
And that's really what it all boils down to.
yeah. I love that. Like I love that we're able to be in a position like it hurts right now, but it just means you put in work. Like before, all this hurt was the excuse to go use and drink, and like we're so much more capable than we give ourselves credit for. Like when you was telling me that earlier, I was like, man, this guy knows how to work. And it's pretty dope, like to be able to see. And I go through some things, like I've never done like actual digging deep. Like that's something I want to learn how to do for sure. Um, but there's a bunch of things like that's sick, like about life. Like life is definitely worth living, and but it's like a constant journey, right? Like we always have to find ways to improve, which is why I like doing this podcast because every time I come in, you always got something new to share about where you're growing at or different types of self improvement you're doing on you, and I take a lot from it
Yeah,
for sure.
mutual, brother,
Yeah,
honestly. And I really do love that. And I think that like this season of my life, this era that I'm in is like I've done a lot of work to get close to where I'm trying to be in my life. And now it's like I'm not leaving anything unturned, bro. I'm going deep
yeah,
every which way. It doesn't matter if it's my body, my mind, my spirit, my business, my wealth. It's
yeah,
like everything I'm doing is going to be locked in for right
yeah,
now because that's the era that I'm in. And I am one of the things that I came up with last night is that I am working on relaxing and being okay with where I'm at and being content and being proud of the things that I've done and doing that kind of work as well because there's the balance to it. I can't just be all the way locked in and do everything all the time. But but I am in a season where it's
yeah.
I'm not
It's go time, right?
yeah, I'm gonna work through everything I can possibly work through. I'm gonna dig to try to find things to work through, you know?
Yeah, but it's like the word you use is perfect. Season, it's like being in the NFL. You only have X amount of months to play, and then you have the rest of the downtime.
Right.
Like so it's grind time. Some things are gonna get less attention while you get it. I remember some somebody taught me that you got to have a balance between work, love, and play,
I love that.
right? And sometimes the pie will be unbalanced because some things will have to take more attention at that time. You know, like say you like football season, right? Like football season you have to play. So the love and play is gonna take a little bit of backseat towards the work part, right? And then when off season comes, now it's time to play and love,
I love that so much,
right?
bro.
As long as the from what I would learn, the most important thing about that chart, that pie, is being capable of putting the balance back when it's time to bring it back,
Yeah, that's
right? Like
awesome.
a lot of people think it has to be balanced all the time. When you first start a business, the business is going to take most of the pie, and then when you do get it off and going, can you bring it back to balance where you do pay attention to your love and your playtime,
Right.
you know?
And you know what's crazy is like I've also learned just recently, like I've known this like subconsciously, but now I consciously understand that like I'm not building businesses for the sake of building businesses or money or anything like that. Like I'm building business for freedom for myself, for my family, for my
Yeah.
kids, because I have a passion for helping people because like I have a legacy I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
And so like those things are what drive me to want to keep working when it gets hard, you know?
Yeah.
Those are the things that like push it behind. It's not like I'm doing it for the sake of just I want to flex or something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like in reality, like I want to change lives. I want to grow into this man that I know I can be.
Yeah.
And so like those are why when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, all right, like I'm not feeling it today, but let's get it, you know?
Yeah.
Because
So
I have the why that pulls me.
yeah. So when you're gone, what's the legacy of Mason?
Yeah, my legacy is like where healing becomes a movement, brother. Like I'm seriously gonna be healing people. Like I wanna create treatment centers, which is in the process. Like I talked about to you
Yeah.
before this, like where like you guys give it a year and I'm gonna have a treatment center that I've built.
Yeah.
Um And then, like, I want to build Clean Life to nationwide, if not worldwide, where we're helping doing service work for other people.
Yeah.
And the thing is like I don't own Clean Life. Like I'm the founder and the CEO, but it's a nonprofit, so it's owned by the community.
Yeah.
So eventually, I got to give that baby up, which is hard for me to think about. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because I put my heart and soul into everything that we're doing. And so it's like, but I do know that that's going to grow bigger than me, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, that's what something that like, once we get the funding and the people to get involved, like we start thinking of like real service projects in like Africa. I want to go across the world to do help, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but basically like for right now, my legacy is building I'm starting at the beginning foundation of building something that's bigger than it's already bigger than me, way bigger than me, and it's God's plan. It's like I'm out here. I see the healing that's happening, and it's not like I'm over there healing people and doing
Yeah.
the thing. It's just like me showing up, me making sure that Clean Life's something for people to come to, me being the guy that my church calls when somebody struggles with addiction.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching people come in to my life and feel a lot better about their situation, and then I watch them leave and go do big things, and I'm just like, that's what the legacy I want. I want bigger than me, but to touch the world in that way, you know?
That's so cool. And the way you say bigger than me is like, it sounds like you're talking about a kid. It sounds like you're talking about your kid. The way I was told when I had a kid is that you just raise them to be greater than you, right? And that's when you're explaining your legacy. I feel like my legacy is my kids, but it's dope to hear you describe that that's what you want your legacy to be, greater than you, right? Like, yeah, it'll have your name on it, but you want it to be something that everybody remembers you for. And then explain to everybody what you mean by healing as a movement.
Like healing is a movement, but because like when I think about it in these terms, it's like if me and Daniel, if so Daniel, for instance, Daniel was there when I was broken. Daniel gave me love, support, guidance, direction. And because of his love, support, guidance, and direction, I felt healing. And because of that healing, now I can turn and give it to the next person. And then what I want to build in my treatment center is peer supports that take people in like 2 or 3 at a time. They give people the love, the healing, the security, help them understand how to live life. And then those people are going to grow into the program to where they turn around and help. So say we help 3 people. Now those 3 people get their own houses and help 3 more people. So that healing movement that one's a slow burn because Clean Life is more a massive community thing where we want everybody involved in doing service projects and working together and have finding purpose and passion. But on the other side of it, it's like we're sending ripples that like if we can heal, we can help somebody else heal, then they can help somebody else heal. And eventually, the movement and the healing is everywhere. And the thing is, it's not just our community doing it. That's what I love is that the community as a whole has multiple people out there working to help people heal. And so we just connect in those ways and then we all do our part. That's why we're part of the solution, you know?
Yeah, part of the solution is another clean life model. Um, all I was trying to get at is whether you understand it or not. You do have a legacy. You don't have to worry about leaving one behind because it's already created. This is just the part where you get to shape it and form it and mold it into something greater. Like it's already great, right? Like people will comment or people will reach out. Those are the people brave enough to reach out and talk to us. But there's so many more that are affected just by us talking right now, that are affected by showing up to Clean Life outreach. Speaking of outreach, there's one coming up.
Yeah, December 6th, we're gonna be doing a good one. It's gonna be an awesome outreach. We're gonna meet at USARA at 11 a.m. if you guys want to come and support it, or if you guys want to donate to help us with like all the things that we're trying to put together. It's gonna be an amazing time. So
Yeah. So originally, this whole podcast, I was asking Mason to put one together about culture, and what you were talking about earlier, in real time, the mind um learns, the mind, you know. Um um I asked Mason to come up with a podcast about culture, not understanding that although there was a culture that I was born into, you can create your own culture, which is what Mason is doing. And while he was talking, I was like, man, you know what? This is my culture now. My culture is healing is a movement. Don't stand on the sideline, be part of the solution, and all this stuff. Like, and it's so the box I used to create for myself to keep myself in, instead of I was able to find a door and get out. Now we're building love. We're
Love,
building
bro.
forgiveness. We're building a path for people to follow. And everybody can join, right? Like what Mason was saying about clean life. Um, he's gonna have to give this baby up, and it's not Mason's thing. It's just something Mason put together for the people, and it's about the people. Like if everybody could have a conversation like this, the world would be such a greater place. Instead of being shameful, being open with your heart, instead of thinking that you have to do things by yourself, instead of building these walls to box you in, build them to let people enter, like open up build a box, but make a door so other people can come join you, or something like that.
Give them purpose. Give them something that they can
Yeah.
be part of.
Like what you're saying about you help 3 people, those 3 people help 3 people,
That's 9
this,
people in two generations. Dude.
yeah. And it does affect a lot more. Like, even though you counted 3, there's a lot more people around that's been affected. The 3 people that you helped change, they were just brave enough to come up and say something. Right. Like like throughout softball, people would come up and say, I love that episode. I needed to hear that. That dude, I don't want to say anybody's name, but that dude felt brave enough to come say something. There's so many other people that didn't say nothing and has yet to say something, if they will ever will. Like, this is affecting a lot more people than we'll ever meet or ever get to know or find out.
That's
Which is the dope part about putting out something good in the world. Like, every time I put out something bad in the world, I thought I was only poisoning my body. When I was using drugs and alcohol, I thought I was only killing me, and never understood why my family was so upset, not understanding that I was damaging so much people around me, right? Take that mindset and do something good,
That's so awesome, bro.
right? Take that mindset. Instead of damaging everybody around you, why not be a light to all these flowers around you and watch everybody grow together and bloom? All of a sudden, you're just in this beautiful grove, or whatever you want to call it,
So true. And it's if we do the work first and build it, and then all of a sudden around us, everything we see is going to be prosperity, happiness,
Right.
abundance, instead of shame, guilt,
Yeah.
struggle.
So the topic was originally about culture and its barriers. Let's get rid of that and talk about how we can build. Instead of barriers, let's take the barriers down and let's build purpose.
Build
Let's
purpose.
build
I love
love.
that, bro.
Let's build.
Give the opportunity for people to be involved.
Yeah. And like how you said, I helped you. Like, I might have helped Mason, but Mason helped so much more people. Like, I helped other people too, and that's where definitely healing does become a movement, because I was just being me. I was at work, but I was doing more than work, right? Like, I was sitting down with people, I was talking to them, giving them feedback on things that I went through, and it helped Mason in some sense. And that's the part where it becomes a movement, because love moved from me to him, allowing him to heal, which is where that does become a moment. And I appreciate you breaking it down for everybody.
I appreciate you, brother. And like, honestly, like, that is so true. And then that little bit, that light that you gave me, then I can freely give it to the next person, that can freely give it to the next person.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, it's not just one person at a time.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times we're hitting the groups and families, and like you said, like, that, not just those 3 people heal, because now their parents get to see them succeed. Their brothers and sisters get to see the change. Like, that was one of the things for me, is like I have a great relationship with my mom now, where we struggled for a lot of years to even connect. Or my little brother is super proud of me, bro. And that really, I can't think of anything that means more to me. Like, honestly, like, him being proud of me is like, that's it for me. That's like, I made it, bro.
Yeah.
My nephew's another one, because he's super hardcore, and he's like an old soul, and he's always like, he doesn't forgive easily. But the other day he hit me up and said, I just want to tell you, bro, that I really, I'm proud of you, and like, I got your back in anything you need. Like, I'm here for you.
That's so cool.
And like, that meant a lot to me, because it's like, bro, not just me, like, I'm making changes and people are feeling it. You know? Like
And
now it's not like that. It's not like when I used to make changes and people be like, "Oh, how long is this gonna?" I remember leaving jail, bro, and the jailers, the COs would sit there and be like, "I give it 3 weeks. I give
yeah,
it a
like
week."
they're making bets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then half the time I was like, "Yeah, right, bro." And I'm back in 3 days. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, not
Yeah.
again."
Who got 3 days? Who took the pot? Right. But I feel like I like all that work, right? Like our energy enters the room before we do. So like you walk into the room, and even before saying a word, people will feel like, "Oh, let's go," And I feel like that all the work that you put in for you and I did for me, that's how you light up a room. And then if people want to conversate, they understand that there's a lot more to the light than what I see. Like your mom being able to understand that you are better without having to have a conversation, although you guys do. Like I feel like anywhere I go, people feel like it's cool. And then if they do get brave enough to come talk, we have a conversation. And it's like I shared at a meeting, at a HA meeting, and this guy had one day and came and asked me for my number. And he was like, "I need people like you." And I was like, "Get it, take my number." And I was text me your name. And he texted me his name. But I feel like all of this is internal work. We talked about it before, internal work, but I feel like the way we carry ourselves is how healing becomes a movement. The way we show up for people, the way we just talk and express ourselves also gives people the freedom to be able to express themselves back, right?
Right.
Like allowing them, like, "Hey, it's safe for you to talk like this to me, it's all right."
Yeah.
And showing them by example, like I don't cry on purpose, but when I do, it's all right because for me, it cleanses. Like it feels like it's cleansing my soul. It's like getting some stuff out. But I feel like the more powerful thing about that is it's saying to everybody in the room that if this big, you think he's a tough guy, but he's not. If you think it's all right for me to cry, then in my head, it makes it to where they feel safe to get vulnerable too.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. And I think, like, if you even think back, I don't know about you, but for me, like, I think back to my first day in HA when I first
yeah,
got there, and the people that were open and vulnerable and honest, they were the people I was like, I want to be like that.
yeah,
Same thing with treatment when I saw you or Dalton,
yeah,
and those things were inspirational to me because I was like, these
yeah,
guys are doing it. And then that's something that I love about the sober community now is like, it used to be like kind of like shameful to get sober. Like people would talk crap and be
yeah,
like, "Oh, whatever, like whatever." Now it's like there's a team of like a real group of amazing people doing
yeah,
this. Like the real ones are actually stepping up and making changes, and that's what matters to me.
yeah,
It's like now we're building something
yeah.
bigger, and not just us, but as a whole, in the community in general is building something bigger than we've ever seen in this world in my lifetime.
Yeah, but I feel like the reason why it's more powerful now is because and I'm not saying like the people that's clean hasn't done anything, haven't been through nothing. I'm just saying that we've been through so much. It's like me talking about my kids, never wanting to, like, I never wanted my kids to experience the things I've been through, so I gave them what I didn't get, right? And I feel like that's the reason why it's more powerful now is because going back to what Bryce was talking about, villain versus hero mode. This is us making sure that everybody's going to get what we didn't get, or make sure that what we've been through, that they get the help that they need.
Right.
And I feel like that's why it's powerful. That's because it's genuine out of love. Actually caring about people, like nothing in return, just get better, and we make this world a better place for all of us.
Right.
You know
One
what I
person
mean?
at a time or groups at a time, don't matter.
Everybody can get it.
Yeah,
For
everybody
real,
can get
everybody can get it.
it.
Just sit down, have a conversation like we are. Find you somebody like Mason, find some real friends, like find you some people that don't need nothing from you, that will show up for you with regardless. And if you got people that are down for you and they can't show up, don't get mad. If you know that they had the time, they would show up. Anyways, that's way off the
No, that's
point,
good.
but
I love it, and it's so true. And I think that is important to say. I think that people need to hear those things. And I really, I've this whole podcast, like I write a script or I write questions or whatever,
yeah,
but in reality, I'd much rather it be from the heart
yeah,
anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If
And
it
this,
pops up, it's because God wants it
yeah.
or whatever. It's like it's supposed to be said to the people because somebody out there is gonna hear it and need it.
Yeah, I like how this did a whole plot twist.
Me too. My whole outro not even gonna work.
Yeah. I like how this whole thing was a plot twist because I was thinking all day, I was like, okay, what do I want to talk about culture? And I like how it got turned into forget the culture that we're born into, like let's build a culture, which is called clean life, which is called healing as a movement, which is called be a part of the solution,
Let's go, bro.
different kind of culture. but a culture I choose to be part of.
One that I'm proud of
sure.
too.
Yeah, I'm proud of too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, love you guys. If this episode hit home for you or you liked it or whatever, will you guys please subscribe, share it with a friend, somebody that might need it, because healing isn't just personal, it's a movement.
It's a movement, and you guys understand how now.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for you guys. I'm super grateful for you, Daniel. And I'm
Yeah,
super
same.
grateful that we have this opportunity to share time with each other and space with each other. And honestly, like, if it was just this forever, I'd be in heaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
There's so much more to come, though. And so stay tuned and stay connected. Love you guys.
Love you guys. That was